Dear viewers, welcome to Tell It As It Is TV. We'll be bringing you ancient and modern true life stories with graphic images.
Please note that characters and some environs are fictional.
Jump into our channel to see the part 1 of this story if you haven't done so for catch-ups. Now let's dive straight to the part 2. On the 27th day of November 1988, Ebuka could no longer ignore the relentless pressure from Emeka and the chief priest. It's 3 days to the deadline of the ultimatum he was given to bring forth a virgin to be sacrificed in their occultic chamber. The allure of wealth consumed his thoughts, drowning out the love and respect he once had for Chidinma. With every passing day, the deadline loomed larger, and Ebuka's resolve crumbled under the weight of his desires. His world felt like it was collapsing as the deadline for the ritual drew closer. The chief priest's words echoed relentlessly in his mind. The blood of a virgin is your key to unimaginable wealth, and failure to comply within 21 days will be disastrous. Instant death awaits you, or you go mad for your entire lifetime. It felt like a noose tightening around his neck. Nights became sleepless, and days were consumed by guilt and desperation. This is doom, he thought. 2 days to the day of the sacrifice approached, being the 28th day of November. Emeka handed Ebuka a bottle containing a potent sedative. "You need this for her," Emeka said coldly. His words carried no empathy, only the promise of wealth. Ebuka's heart chattered as he took the bottle, knowing the heinous act it represented. The grace Ebuka was given to remain alive and sane was supposed to elapse at 11:55 p.m. on the 30th of November. Around 2 p.m. on that fateful day, Ebuka invited Chidinma over to his one-room apartment under the guise of spending some time together. She arrived, radiant as always, her innocent smile lighting up the room. She was wearing her favorite floral dress. Ebuka struggled to hide his internal turmoil as he couldn't look her in the eyes. "You seem distant," she said, her voice filled with concern. "Are you okay?" Ebuka's heart raced as he thought about what lay ahead. "No, I'm fine," Ebuka replied, forcing a smile. "Let's have lunch." He made porridge beans and plantain. 30 minutes later, after they finished eating, Chidinma asked him to see her off as she would like to leave. "But you just came around a while ago. Why the rush?" Ebuka asked. "No, it's not a while ago, Ebuka. It's been an hour already. You know I don't keep late nights." "But it's not late, Chi. It's only 3 p.m. "I know. I have to fetch water for my mother for her to prepare supper, do some dishes, and afterwards, I need to go and fetch some children from their various homes for block rosary prayer this evening. You already know my routine, Ebuka." "I know." "Okay, why not stay for another hour?" "Another hour?" "Yes, my love. You will still be able to fetch water, do dishes, and make it for block rosary this evening. Block rosary only start at 6. I promise to walk you home at exactly 4 p.m. Promise?" I cross my heart. "Okay then, so what are we going to be doing till the next hour?" How about we play Ludo?" "Okay then, Let's play. And so they decided to play Ludo. Ebuka's trembling hands betrayed his turmoil. Afterward, he offered Chidinma a drink, pouring her favorite juice into a glass. His hands shook as he added a few drops of sedative. He watched her sip it, his heart breaking with each passing second. Within minutes, her eyelids grew heavy and she slumped into unconsciousness. Tears streamed down Ebuka's face as he succumbed to his subconsciousness. He didn't wish for this to happen. He wished he can reverse it all. But will he rather die tomorrow or run mad for the rest of his life? He quickly snapped out of his thought. The deed is done already. He has to carry on with a plan. Eventually, he started tidying up his apartment, took a shower and started getting ready, while Chidinma is deep asleep. He has to wait for day to be dark before he can proceed. At exactly 8 p.m., he carried Chidinma to a car he had borrowed from a maker. The journey to the ritual site was agonizing as he drove through the dimly lit streets of Onitsha. Memories of their love flooded his mind. The laughter they shared, the dreams they built together, and the unwavering faith in him. As he set out for the journey from number 24 Creek Road where he lives, all the way down to Niger Street, he pulled over by the roadside. The weight of his action crushed him, and he buried his face in his hands, sobbing uncontrollably. "What am I doing?" he whispered to himself. He was about to change his mind and reverse the car, but he kept hearing the chief priest's words on the day of his initiation. "Instant death awaits you, or you run mad for the rest of your life." Ebuka stared at Chidinma, her peaceful face illuminated by the car's interior lights. He wiped his tears, started the engine and continued from Niger Street by the bank of the river Niger towards Bridgehead. He saw police checkpoint just before the Niger Bridge. Fear envelops Ebuka. His heart raced. He placed his hand on his chest. He can feel his heart beating so fast, as if the pound of his chest is from the car speaker he is driving. But he had no music on. He felt like his heart was going to pop out from his mouth. What has I gotten myself into? He would have just turned back 5 minutes ago like he wanted to. What has he done to himself? But he can't just turn back now. The police would chase after him and he would be done for. He comported himself, took a deep breath and swallowed hard. On getting to the checkpoint, "Good evening, sir," he greeted the officer that approached the car. "Good evening to you. Young man, where are you coming from and where are you going to?" "We are coming from my uncle's place in Onitsha, and we are heading back home to Asaba." "And who is the young lady?" "She is my younger sister." "Why is she sleeping?" "Oh, she's very tired. We were busy all day cleaning my uncle's house who hasn't been home for almost 2 years now. Himself and his family will be returning home from England the day after tomorrow." The police officer's mood lightened up when Ebuka mentioned abroad. He has forgotten his duty as an officer who was to make sure that evil perpetrators like Ebuka is brought to book. "Oh, abroad people. What do you have for us then?" The officer smirked. Ebuka gave the police officer a tip of 20 naira, which was the highest denomination as of then. The officer jumped up, hailing Ebuka as he let him through. Ebuka breezed down as he drove across the Niger Bridge, all the way down to the outskirts of the city of Asaba, where the chamber is located. It was around 10 p.m. when Ebuka got to the location. air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant howl of owls and crickets. As Ebuka parked the car, two marksmen emerged from the shadows. They opened the car door and lifted Chidima's unconscious body, carrying her inside. Ebuka followed them into the dimly lit chamber, where the chief priest and other members married. The air smelled of incense and decay, and the flickering red candles cast eerie shadows on the walls. Chidima suddenly wakes up and confused, not realizing where she is, with strange faces around in a strange dark evil place. The only face she recognized was that of her fiancé Ebuka. She sensed something was amiss, began to question him as fear grips her. But Ebuka has nothing to say. Chidima froze, her instinct telling her to flee, but it was too late. The men holding her are too strong to overpower. She screamed Ebuka's name, pleading for an explanation, begging for her life. Tears streamed down Ebuka's face as he stood motionless, paralyzed by guilt and fear. The priest cast a spell on Chidima by placing a talisman on her forehead. She collapsed, and the priest ordered the men to lay her unconscious body on the altar of sacrifice. "We shall begin at 12 midnight, the priest said as they continued their marriage. When it was 12, being December 1st of 1988, they all assembled at the ritual room, cycling Chidima's unconscious body lying on the sacrificial altar. And so the ritual began. The priest began chanting a language Ebuka couldn't understand. Chidima lay motionless on an altar, her innocence starkly contrasting the darkness that surrounded her. "Come forward," the chief priest commanded. Ebuka hesitated, his leg feeling weak. "Do it now," the chief priest barked. Ebuka trembled as he stepped closer. The chief priest handed him a dagger, his blade glinting ominously in the candlelight. "With this act, you say your fate and claim your world," the priest intoned. Ebuka's hand shook violently as he raised the dagger. Tears blurred his vision as he thought of the life he was about to destroy, the life that had brought him nothing but love and joy. With a final anguished cry, Ebuka plunged the dagger downward, straight through Chidima's chest, sealing Chidima's fate and his own descent into darkness. As her blood stained the altar, the room filled with an otherworldly energy. The chief priest chanted louder, and the candles flickered wildly. The ritual was complete. Ebuka stood frozen, the dagger slipping from his hand. The chief priest handed him a small talisman, symbolizing his newfound world. "Your life will change from this moment. After 21 days, you will be dazed by the amount of wealth you shall acquire," the priest declared. But as Ebuka looked at the lifeless body of the woman he had loved, he felt no triumph, only an overwhelming emptiness. The weight of his action pressed down on him, suffocating any sense of accomplishment. Ebuka had gained the world, but lost his soul. He had achieved his goal, but at a cost that will haunt him forever.
Moral of the story so far: do not pay good deeds with evil. It will hunt you in the end. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9 says, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked, who can know it?" Watch out for part 3. Please subscribe, comment, like and share.